May the peace of Christ be with you. We are in the middle of historic times. And as a young person, this is a moment in history, a moment in your life that you're going to remember probably forever. I can think back about moments in my own life that I can distinctly remember where I was when it happened. So President Kennedy was assassinated in November of '63 in Dallas, and I was in kindergarten, and we got to go home early that day. I remember that. In '69, in the middle of summer, man landed on the moon for the very first time, and I was watching. It was a really bad reception that we were getting from the moon, and it was about maybe 9:30, 10:30 at night when we actually watched him take the first steps. But I was there, and I remember being in my living room and with my family watching that moment. When 9/11 happened, 2001, I remember I had already arrived at work, and I was watching the news feeds coming in from CNN on the internet, as well as talking to friends who were inside the New York area and talking to them about what was happening and what they were experiencing. These were historic moments, and I remember them, and this is an historic moment, and you're going to remember this as well, too. You're right smack in the middle of history. So the questions that you're going to be asked later on in life, or the questions that you're going to be reminding yourself later on in life are, where were you when this happened? What was going on? How were you when this all happened? What were the things that were making a difference for you during the coronavirus of 2020? This is what you'll be looking back on. This is a moment where we as people, because of our history, because of what's going on, we help to build and define our characters in this moment. We help to learn who we are and what we're about, or at least we have that possibility in this kind of moment. So I invite you, this is going to be more than just a couple of days, I invite you to start prepping yourself and start looking around yourself and start examining yourself and figuring out, what does this moment mean for me? What am I learning in this moment? What am I taking away from this moment? These are the kind of things that will help you define who your character is, who your person is. And as a young person, this is the work you're supposed to be about anyway. So take advantage of this moment to take a look at those kind of things. I heard a speaker on vocation, and vocation is, we often think of vocation as like a vocation to the priesthood, but vocation is, what is your life's work? What is it that you are about in terms of who you are and what it is you're going to do? And he often described that you figure out your vocation, your life's work, by looking back at all sorts of different moments and figuring out the thread that goes in between each moment. So I had this experience, and I had this experience, and I had that experience, and this thread was one constant between all these things. I invite you to start building that thread of your life, that thread of your character, that thread of your vocation. So look at this moment. Don't blow it off. Don't dismiss it. It's something, and it can be something significant for you. How are you going to be defining yourself because of this moment? In the Old Testament book of Joshua defines himself in a similar kind of moment. Joshua says, "As for me and my household, we will serve the Lord." And I invite you to consider not only how all this stuff's affecting you, but how is this stuff affecting you and your relationship with God? So we're going to continue to try to send you lots of emails and invite you to different things to continue to engage in your faith and your life and your relationship with God. We hope you will watch these emails, consider them seriously, take a look at the possibilities and activities, and join with us in church community. join with us in faith. This is a moment where we can call upon our faith and have our faith and let our faith help define who we are and what we're about. As for me and my household, where I'm sending the message to you right now, as for me and my household, we will serve the Lord. I invite you to consider doing the same thing. Be healthy. Thanks.